Greetings, this is Marley from the Black Father Support Group, and welcome to another one of our catch-up sessions. Again, I'm walking around. I thought, it's a nice day, so why not get outside and do another one of these catch-up sessions. So today's subject is based on something that happened at the last meeting that we had, where now the good thing, before I even go into it, the good thing about the Fathers Group is that I'm always getting to learn something new. So whether it is something positive that happens in the group, or something negative that happens in the group, or something said that I can perceive as negative, it still gives me the opportunity to learn, to bring something new to my consciousness. So that's why I like to go there. But something that happened at our last session was where we was talking about an event that we had just last week. So to give you a little context, last week we had it was like a fashion show and a award show for people in our community who've been doing great things, which was lovely. Lots of people came along. The people who were awarded those awards, so that people like Sister Esther Sansford, Galaxy Radio got one, Robin Walker also got an award. You'll see Robin Walker in the next Hidden Colours actually, so if you don't know the name, then you will do very soon. Also, we gave out awards to a sister there, Shelley Aspute, who is a designer / inventor around things that she's been doing. She's a smart sister. She's really got that third eye going, and so we wanted to recognise her as well. And many other people from around the community, Danny and Sister Junie from Ubuntu, and Callum as well. So there was a lot of people from around the community doing different things that we were able to acknowledge. So going back to the last meeting, one of the brothers said that, he said, everything that we do, every event that we do is always successful. We always have people come, and what we need to do is make sure we are there on the night to make sure that we help make it a good event. And while a lot of people applauded that thought, what I was left with was this feeling that, that brother who said that is used to allowing for other things to happen because it's all going to be good on the night, rather than saying, well, if we want things to be good on the night, then we need to actually be a part of the process, part of the work beforehand to ensure that that success happens. So my question to you is, are you a player or are you a spectator? And I'm talking about not only in things like, the Fathers Group or in your family, but I'm talking about in general. When it comes down to, what you see on the TV, for example, around your local news, are you just a spectator or are you a player in that? A young man who came to our previous event, so we had an event 2 weeks ago. We had a young man come along, his name was Myron, and the event was about police stop and search. And as the police were talking about knife crime in the community, and as we were getting into, does stop and search work, this young man had been there because he wanted to be able to raise funds for his friend who had died as a result of knife crime. 4 days later, that same young man was dead from a knife incident. So I'm left with a feeling that, are we just talking about it, or are we actually doing something about what is happening in our community? Are we busy applauding ourselves for, putting in work? Oh, this is good. The sun's behind me now, so you're just going to have pretty much a silhouette. I apologise. I should have thought of that beforehand. I'll turn around so you can see the... There you go, that's a lot better. So are we willing to be the architect or the player in our life and our experience of life, or are we willing just to, go along with it and see what happens and say, hey, it's all going to work out in the end? I think that a lot of people speak about living in this system of white supremacy that it's given some of us. Now, I know that we are living in a system of white supremacy. I know that because there's way too much empirical and qualifiable evidence to say so. So I know for a fact that's happening. But I think that some people take that as a license to not do anything, to say, okay, well, because I'm living in this system called white supremacy where I'm being put upon by different people constantly, there's nothing for me to do. Oh, well, because of white supremacy, I can't get a job. Because of white supremacy, I decided I should call my child Mercedes. Yeah, because of white supremacy, I had to go and rob this person. Yeah, well, of course I like that music because of white supremacy, innit? What's the point of a proper education anyway? I mean, I live in a system of white supremacy, it's not worth it. Well, I decided to spend my money on my brand new pair of Jordans instead of paying for my rent because I live in a system called white supremacy. Yeah, I'm a dad with 19 children for 20 women, but it's all right because it's white supremacy, so it's not my fault. This is my girlfriend, her name's Becky. I call her my snow queen, and I love her because I'm living in a system of white supremacy. This is my boyfriend, John. I call him my snow king because I'm living in a system of white supremacy. That is the way to go if you want tragedy. If you want more people like that young man, Myron, who passed away. There's not enough of our community doing something about it to prevent it, because prevention is obviously better than a cure. So we have to be a part of the solution. We can't just sit back and be a spectator. When you're watching football or soccer, if you're an American watching this, if you're watching football, you can watch and you'll see people get injured. You'll see people get fouled. It's a lot easier to say, well, you should have done that play rather than that play. You should have passed to that person rather than that person, because you're a spectator. It's a lot safer. You don't get injured being a spectator. You can you can wince. Ooh, that looked painful, when someone's there rolling around on the floor in pain because someone's just fractured their tibia bone or something crazy. But as a spectator, what you get in comfort in the fact that you get to sit out of it and not have to take part and be able to, say what you feel about the sport and what someone should have done better and so on and so forth. What you get from that is offset by the fact that you don't actually get any of the wins. It's the men who are actually on the field, who are there putting their body on the lines, who get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They get to have that financial recognition because of the fact that they're really putting in the work, right? So yeah, there's a difference there. And now the sun's come back up behind that cloud. I'm back to being a silhouette. Let me turn around just quickly. So all that to say, you need to be a player in your life. As a father, as a man, you can't sit back and just allow things to happen around you. When you do that, you end up being at the effect of things rather than being the person who's actually producing something. And when you're at the effect of other people's will, you have no say in where your life goes. You're going to be the person that ends up being made homeless because somebody else has decided that they're going to close down your projects or your council flats. You're going to be the person that's saying, I can't, I've got no money to go on holiday or whatever, because someone has decided that they're going to close your job position. You have to be the person who is imposing their will on your life. If you're not being that person, then what's the point? Life is so much better when you're actually playing it and not just sitting back and seeing what happens. So as we go into April, this is April, it's the fourth traverse of the moon around the earth. That means that we've got a time of rebirth, renewal, regrowth. So take this opportunity to start making a change in your life. Start taking this opportunity to say, I'm not going to just be a spectator. And even if you're one of those people, like me, I am one of those people where sometimes I could be a participant, I could be a player, and then sometimes I'll be a spectator and go, hey, you're doing it wrong, and then I'll get back out on the field and start playing again. If you're one of those people, get back on the field and play harder. Learn to spend more of your time on the field and less time in the stands just watching. This is Marley from the Black Father Support Group, another one of our catch-up sessions, and I bid you good day.